What's good everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at my recent pickup of the Air Jordan 1 in the Chicago colorway. This is a 1995 retro, so without further ado, let's take a look at these shoes. Alright, so before we take a look at the shoes, I will show you the box they did come in, and it will give you a bit of a hint on who they came from. But they did come in this white box with this kind of stamp right here that does say Curated Van, with just white tissue paper and some stickers. Now, Curated Van over on Instagram, I believe his name is Ty. He sells and kind of specializes in retro sneakers from back in the day and original Air Jordan 1s from 1985. He has a website, curatedvan.com, where you can go on there and kind of see what he has in stock online, and that's exactly what I did. I also follow him, we follow each other, we've always kind of been in contact the last couple of years, and I have been wanting to pick up a pair of 1995 retros for a very long time. So without further ado, let's take a look at my recent pickup. Alright, so before we get things started, a lot of people call these the 1994s, and I kind of want to just get rid of that right now. These are 1995s. The only retros that did release in 1994 were the Air Jordan 3s. In 95, we got the 1s and the 2s, and that's exactly what we got here. Just because a size tag label reads 94, that was when this shoe in this case was created and or made, but the Air Jordan 1 in the Chicago and black and red colorways did actually in fact release in 1995. So let's get that out of the way. A ton of people call these the 94s. These never released in 1994, only in 1995. But we'll take a quick look at my recent pickup. So starting with the outsole here, as you can see on the bottom of both of these shoes, there is no star loss at all on the toe boxes and no heel drag at the back of the shoes. The soles are basically brand new. There's a little bit of kind of like residue from just being aged the last 30 years, but the outsole on these are absolutely perfect. There's no wear and tear on this outsole at all. So you do have that red outsole on the bottom of the Chicago colorway. As far as the midsole goes, you do have this white midsole that has aged a little bit. As you can see, kind of a 360 degrees. It is kind of vintaged or kind of yellowing here on the left shoe, and on the right shoe you have more or less exactly the same. Really no dirt or anything, and this is how this shoe came in the mail from Ty over at Curated Van. I haven't done anything to the shoe except for put these shoe trees, the spring-loaded shoe trees, inside of the shoe. So the overall outsole and the midsole are in superior shape. The overall just quality and craftsmanship of this retro is great as well. Now what you're getting on the upper is a very nice leather material, as you can see here. It's not tumbled, but it's very soft, and it's just a premium grade of leather here on the upper. You have the red panels, the white panels running throughout, and the black swoosh and the black collar at the top. The Air Jordan Wings logo on both of these shoes is in perfect condition. I believe these did come from the original owner, and they were worn once or twice and not for very long on both of those wears, because as you can tell, this condition kind of running throughout is basically brand new, next to no creases on the left and the right shoe. So just great condition. The tongue is kind of pre-yellowed, or not pre-yellowed, but it's yellowed over time. You have the black original laces right here. At the top of the tongue, you do have that red Nike Air tag with the white Nike Air. At the back of the tongue, you have the usual jargon from Jordan Brand. Inside the shoe, you can see the Nike Air. I don't know if you can see it inside. It's kind of dark, but and then for this retro, they did have a stamp right here that does read size 10.5, and then deeper into the shoe behind that, you do have a size tag label right there, and this is my true to size 10.5. Now how 1995s fit, for me they fit true to size. So whatever you are in the OGs or the high 85 recent retros, I would go with that size if you're planning on picking up a 1995 retro. For these I went with the 10.5. I have tried these on and my toe is right near the end of the shoe, just like all of my other Air Jordan 1s, and these are completely wearable. The padding inside is not crispy or anything, it's nice and soft, and just the overall condition is superb on this pair right here. Now I may have lied just a little bit because I said that the only thing I have done to the shoe was throw those spring-loaded shoe trees in, but I actually gave the shoe a quick spray with this genuine mink oil from Angelus. Just a quick spray 360 degrees around the shoe, let it sit for a couple hours, and then wipe off any of the residue or extra kind of oil sitting on top of the shoe, and it just conditions the leather and prevents the leather from cracking and drying up. And this is going to be good to go for at least another 20 or 30 years because the overall condition of this pair right here is great. I'm not sure if I'm going to wear this pair or not. I'm thinking about it. I do have the Lost and Founds, so I would prefer to beat those up rather than these, but the overall condition of these are in just superb condition. I will grab that shoe tree out really quickly. I have the overall condition on the inside of the shoe. So as you can see right here, you can see the Nike Air. And then if you're planning on picking up a pair of 1995s, here is the tag on the inside of the shoe. Again, I got these in a US 10.5, and I believe, yeah, the insole is kind of glued down. So it feels like a polyurethane insole for sure, but I cannot pull that out. It is glued down, and I don't want to tear the insole on these 1995s. Sound off in the comments though if you guys have ever held a pair of 95s, what you think of this retro. Is it the closest to the OGs in 1985? I would say no, that's actually going to be the Retro 85 series. Just the overall build and everything to do with that shoe is a lot closer to the OGs than these 95s are, because this midsole has more or less the same texturized midsole as the high OGs have. The height of the shoe is more or less exactly the same as the 1985s. The shape is a little bit off, but nonetheless, this is a superb retro from 30 years ago already. That is wild. From 1995, the first rendition of retros for the Air Jordan 1. Sound off in the comments though, do you guys prefer the Chicago colorway or do you prefer the black and red? For me, I still think I like the Chicagos a little bit better, but the black and red, the band pair, is just gorgeous as well. I am looking forward to picking up a 1995 pair of those, but this was a good start. Would I have loved the OG box? Yes, but for the price that I paid for these, having the OG box and the retro card probably would have costed a bit more if I did get the complete set. Now, how much did I pay for this shoe? I paid roughly $1,000 Canadian, which is like 600 or 650 American. So for me, I was happy with that price point. They were listed at, I believe, $700 higher than that in Canadian. I believe they were listed at like $1,700. And I just think the price that I paid for them, the overall condition, and just the market of the 85s and 95s, if you go online and or eBay, there are pairs selling for way more than this, what I paid for this pair, in way worse condition. So I'm definitely happy with what I paid for this pair right here, but sound off in the comments what you guys think of the 1995 retro of the Air Jordan 1 in the Chicagos. But that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel out a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.